Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to the beautiful Dorset coastline. You join me for episode 8 of 52 on the mighty Chesil beach. So if you like your place fishing, you love your sunshine and you love the beautiful Chesil beach, then this is definitely the video for you. Welcome back everyone. Welcome back to Chesil Beach. Yeah, it's that time of year where the fishing is still pretty hard. We've seen over the last few weeks, we haven't really got multiple species in. As I've said a couple of times, there's rays coming from both ends of the beach. But the beach as a whole, dogfish and plaice. All right, so out of the two, guess which one I'm fishing for? Plaice. Doing these videos once a week, I cannot just make a load of species turn up. I'm just showing you how it's fishing. So today I've just come down after work. It's just gonna be a couple hours up to the evening, up to night time, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna fish for plaice. I've got my Bagnall bars on me, which you all know by now, but I'm gonna fish it a little bit different. I don't think I've mentioned it before, but probably from April, probably for 2 months, sometimes it can be more, we get hassled by spider crabs down here on Chesil. So if you use a Bagnall bar, firstly it's a brilliant rig, as we've seen. You can put it out there. If you get nipped off by a spider, you could just put another hook on. Yeah, it's a pain, but it's not a nightmare. When we start moving into a wishbone rig and like a loop rig, you can get bitten off. And then what happens then, nothing marries up. So then the whole rig's ruined. You have to go home, start again. So it's a pain in the bum. As it stands at the moment, I haven't been troubled with spider crab yet. So today I'm gonna do something a bit different. I'm gonna fish with wishbone, 2 hook rigs, and I'm gonna fish with loop rigs. So I'm gonna loop them up. Never know, we might get a double shot. I'm not overly into that, but I'm trying to mix it up for you, trying to show you different ways to fish and trying to keep it interesting. I'm gonna get these baited up. I'm gonna get them on the rods. When I come back, we'll stick them out there. I'll talk you through them once they've got bait on them. And you never know, the sun's shining, the tide's flooding, high water is on darkness again, just the way I like it. And you never know, I might actually catch some fish. So bait wise today, I'm using fresh blacks. As with all my fishing, I use my bait needle. So I just put the fresh blacks. I'll give it a little slap, but they don't really need it, they're solid. I'm just giving them a light wrap in again with some very fine elastic. My first rig I'm putting out is a wishbone. That means 2 hooks. As with everything, as I show you all the time, don't put your elastic on too tight because you won't be able to get it off the needle. I just got my second one. So when I use a wishbone rig, I put both worms on the same needle, give them a little slap. Look at that, that's a nice worm. The needle, it's beautiful today everyone, again. It's a beautiful day. These worms are massive. Could be a bit big these. Might have to use half. Feels like I've got a sand flea or something in my pants. It's like every now and again I can feel something walking around by my, not the front, the back. Don't know what it is. I'll have to investigate in a minute, but I better not do that on camera. Right, so as of before, gentle. Right, we can move that? Yes, we can. Right, let's bring the rig in. This is a wishbone rig. Get this baited up, get it clipped up. As I mentioned before, when the spider crab's around, I would definitely not use a rig like this. As soon as they bite off one of the hooks, the rig's knackered. Right, one on. I'll just put the second one on and I'll come back. I don't think you need to see that. Baiting needle, hole, hook. Move the bait stop. Keep the tension on. Push. There you go. Absolutely beautiful. Right, let me just clip this up and I'll show you it. So it's always easier to use tension on the rod when you clip it up. So if you try and do it with, when it's not under tension, it's an absolute pain in the backside. And it just doesn't work. Make sure you push your stops down. We need to keep the bait on the hook, don't we? There you go. Right. As you can see, nice short cast loomy lead, 2 baits, loads of bling on a wishbone. What I'm going to do, give it a little tickle, get it out there, roll it around, and you never know. So my second rig today is a loop rig. I'm sure you've seen these before, a Pompey loop, a loop rig, whatever you want to call it. Obviously it is designed in Pompey, maybe. Yet again, this is a pretty standard Plaice rig, which everyone else uses to great effect. So it's a loop rig. So what it has really is one hook up, and as we done last week, one hook off the bottom. Allows for plenty of movement, and obviously you're putting 2 baits out there, which is great. And people go, yeah, I'll put 2 baits out there, I'm going to catch twice as many fish. It doesn't always work like that. As I've explained before, 2 hooks, lots of bling, 2 baits, slows the cast down massively. Acts as a big sort of fan, stroke, sail in the air, slows the cast down, and you probably lose, at a guess, this is not like any science, 30 or 40 yards on your cast. So there could be a patch of Plaice or a patch of clay where the Plaice are feeding, where normally on a bagnall bar, you're hitting that with 1 bait, picking up the fish one at a time. And like I said, I only like fishing for 1 place at a time. Happy days. Casting this rig out, I might not be getting there, but I'm putting 2 baits out. But it's a lottery, what do you do, eh? As I just explained, this is a loop rig. I'll show you it all clipped up in a minute. So it's got 2 hooks, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to share 1 black lug, because these are quite big, between 2 hooks. So I'm going to half it, just to keep it streamlined. Just so hopefully I can put it out a little bit further. So what I do, put half the worm on, pull the bait needle back, find the end of the hook, snip it off with scissors. There you go, there's 1. Just put that there. And then what I do, push the stop down. As we know and as we've done before, we need the worm to be on the hook. So you've got to push the stop down just to keep it there. What I'm going to do then is just add a little bit more elastic, just to stop the worm flying up, only a little bit, just to pinch it around the bend in the hook and keep the worm in place, like so. Okay, do the same on the other one, on the bottom hook. The aim of the game with casting is to keep it as streamlined as possible. The unfortunate thing, when you start using 2 hooks and 2 lots of bait, it naturally doesn't go as far. I'd like to say you probably lose 30 or 40 yards on your cast, So what I'm going to do today is start off using loop rigs. If I'm struggling with fish and the wishbone rig, I'm going to switch it to a bagnall bar on one, hit it a bit further, and then if I start picking up fish then, I'll fish with a bagnall bar, because the fish must be at range. As it moves into night time, the witching hours we like to call it, when the fish come in to feed, I'm sure the fish are being closer. They have been recently, and then I'll be able to use a loop rig and maybe pick up 2 fish at a time. Well, that's my intentions anyway. Let me just loop this up. As I say with all my rigs, you need the rod under pressure, compression. If you try and loop up a loop rig on the floor, it's an absolute nightmare. If you do it under tension like this, it's pretty straightforward. Try not to hook yourself. It's all fancy stuff, everyone. Dee-dee-dee. What a day. Oh yes. So I'm going to bring this in under tension. So as you can see, a luminous shorecast lead. I'm going to roll this around exactly the same as a bagnall bar. Bottom hook clipped in, there's your loop, there's the top hook. When that hits the water, it releases off the imp, releases that hook, which then releases that hook because there's no tension, and then you have your 2 hooks lead on the bottom, fishing perfectly. I'm going to get this one in the water, I'm going to get fish in, and hopefully we can catch a few fish, and you never know, I might get a double shot. Back. Guess what time it is? Dinner time. Yes, mate. So I've only just cast out. It's about 4 o'clock. As explained before, I'm only here for a couple of hours. High tide is on darkness, so I'm definitely, hopefully, not going to get time to eat in a bit, because I'm going to be fishing as hard as I can. Every quarter of an hour, baits going in, spare rigs on the floor, boom, 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 place, 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 place. Hopefully. So today I've got something different. I thought about this today and I thought, yeah, this could be interesting. I haven't had one of these for about 30 years. So drum roll. What could I have not eaten for 30 years? Looking at me, not much. I've obviously eaten quite a lot. Right, before I do this as well, the other day I was watching a YouTuber. And I've watched a few of his videos, unfortunately, fortunately, and he started talking about his sandwiches. He was like, this is a new thing I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about my sandwiches, about the onion in his sandwiches. And I was like, you're not, that's not me. That's not me on that video. He's not the Theshorehunter. But he said it's going really well. And then I looked back on his videos and he only started it 2 weeks ago. So I like cried a little bit, and then I thought, oh, but never mind. At least I'm inspiring a few people to get out and try hard. Moving on to lunch today. Hopefully I'm the only person who's done this. Anyway, I haven't had it for 30 odd years, so happy meal. It's made me happy, well happy. Get a toy still and everything. This one is a lot different though to what I can remember it being. Obviously I'm happy straight away. Let's open it, shall we? Let's see what toy we got. Oh. What the hell? Look at this. What is it? It's got a load of squid on it. Yes. Oh my God. What have we got here? It moves. What? Hello. Hello, my name's Theshorehunter. Yee. Wow. You can scan there for more fun. What more fun do you need? None. Wow. Got some chippies. They're really good for you. Guess why this is different now? Fish fingers. Can you believe it? Fish fingers. I didn't know fish had fingers. Oh, 3 of them. Anyway, this is fish fingers. It's not a cheese and onion sandwich, Joe, is it? Can't believe people copy me. Get your own things. Well, anyway, I'm going to eat this. I'm going to keep fishing. And let's have some fun. So that's first cast on both rods. I've had no indication yet. I've just eaten my dinner, as you've seen. Well, it's lovely, that was. And what I'm going to do is bait up a third rig. So I'm going to get it ready now. I've it all baited up, because if every time I wanged in, I baited up 2 hooks, I'd literally be spending the whole evening with just 1 rod in the water. So I get a bait ready. That's another tip for you. That's called double patting, for people who've heard of that before. Ready to go, wind in, put the other rig on, straight back out. Rotate them just like that, and I'll do that for an hour or so. If by 6 o'clock I've not picked out any place on the double rigs, stick a bagnall bar right there as far as I can, roll it round, get the extra distance, and you never know, we might bump into a few beautiful spring plaice on the beautiful Dorset coastline. Here's some music. Welcome along, everyone. Thanks for joining me again on the beautiful Chesil Beach. This is one I just wound in. Still have bits of bait on there, but something had definitely been playing around with it. Just trying to get all the bits of elastic off and stuff. Well, I hope you've had a good week. The weather's been kind to me. So over the next few days I'm out, I've got 4 people out coaching. So I'm very lucky. And I'm sure, well, I'm hopeful we'll get a few fish. The last few weeks I've been using ragworm and I've caught a few fish. But obviously this week I'm using fresh blacks. Just for a change, really. Try and get a bigger fish. I've been very grateful for the fish I've landed, but they've all been small. I haven't really seen any bigger ones come in yet. Still early, so I've got nothing to worry about. I've often found that blacks pick out the bigger fish, but it's personal preference. So I'm just going to get this one made up. The way I explained it earlier is I've got 2 rigs out in the water. If I was to wind 1 rod in and then spend my time doing this, I'd be spending most of my session with just 1 rod in the water. So what I've got is a spare rig on the floor, ready to go. I'll get it baited up, and then when I wind it in, I just quickly swap it over, and we're ready to go. Look at that, that's nice, isn't it? Put that down. So like a pair like that, look at that black on there, that is a beauty, isn't it? Anyway, I'll get the second one on, get it clipped up, start doing it every quarter of an hour from now on, start building the pressure, casting, 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 left, rolling right, and I'm sure if I keep going, I keep putting in the effort, then I'm bound to get into a place. And hopefully, using blacks and getting on in the season, I might catch a bigger one, big enough to take home and eat. All right, it's not a plaice, but I've caught a fish, everyone. I've caught a flounder, and it's a flatfish. But yeah, it's a nice flounder as well. He's absolutely nailed it, look at him. As you can see, it's not a Plaice, it's a flounder. It's a nice flounder actually. It's not a bad one for Chesil. It's not a 2-pounder like Poole Harbour, but it's still a beautiful fish in the sunlight, and it's a flat fish. It's definitely not a Plaice, so I'm going to get him in the bucket, let him recover, get him unhooked, drop him back, and we'll keep trying, and I'm sure if there's a few flounders around, there's got to be a few Plaice. Just keep the rod nice and low, bring him in nice and gentle. Definitely a fish on. Come on, Mr. Plaice. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a better fish. Nice. Anyway, that's what we came for, everyone. First target of the day, a nice Plaice. It's actually a real nice fish. It's not massive, but it's not tiny, so it makes it all worthwhile. As I mentioned before, I'm only coming down for a few hours after work. It's about 5:30 now. We've got about 2 hours left, the best time. Let's keep the baits going in, and hopefully we can catch a few more of these. Thank you, Mr. Plaice. And I failed to mention, it was caught on the wishbone rig again. So these rigs definitely work. 2 baits out there. It's still very milky, but the fish are on the feed. Well, good evening everyone, and welcome back to the latest episode on my channel. This is number 8 out of 52, and it's been a hard one. Lucky I only come down for a few hours, but I caught a Plaice, so we got our target. I caught a nice flounder, so I'm happy. All the fish come on the bling, on the wishbone, on blacks. I only had black leg today, so I was hoping it would help me target the bigger fish. I'm not sure if I had rag, if I'd have caught a few more fish, who knows. But I caught a target, caught some fish, and that's all that matters. I am literally the only one left on the beach. Everyone packed up about 4 o'clock. All the guys that have been here all day, they didn't have anything, I don't think. I spoke to one person, had 2 little ones, but apart from that, it's been dead. So I haven't wasted much time. I've caught a couple of fish, and that is life. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Thanks to the people that subscribe. You're all heroes. I look forward to seeing you again next week in episode 9. Take care, look after yourself, and I'll see you soon, everyone.